Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid, just going on to Bitcoin. Big good CoinsKid crew. So the S&P 500, not a lot of people look at this, but we've been looking at this for a very long time because, like I've said to you, I think this is a game changer. I think this gives the game away, that Bitcoin's looking pretty bullish, and XRP and the other projects that we look at on a day-to-day basis, technically they're looking like they're in for a big run. And I think, if you can see the S&P 500, which is a major risk on asset that right there, if you can see it looking pretty healthy, then I think, Bitcoin eventually play catch up to that. And equally the breakdown in DXY, which is something we keep an eye on as well. I'm going to jump into the DXY in a moment, but so far so good on this particular chart. Okay, this has been amazing because just here we broke out, we fell back to neckline of support, so you confirming this resistance to support. It's always a clean break of resistance, back test of support. We've seen exactly the same on Bitcoin as well, and right now we're busting a move, aren't we? So we've got the close above that yellow level of resistance, this yellow line just there, 4197. I think we got that close way back in May, and that was a very bullish signal within itself, and so far so good. We're coming up off that signal, okay, and equally just there at the time as well, we got the 20 and a 55 EMA golden cross. Now this particular signal on the S&P 500 has led to a new high before losing the low. 18 instances since 1957. So this was data, not emotion. So far so good. We're beginning to come up off this. Okay, so if this does roll and comes down like this, it's some kind of dead cat bounce and it starts to come back up, back down, sorry, then this particular signal is going to fail us. But we have to respect the data. We have to respect that what the charts are telling us, not emotion. And so far so good. We're getting a lovely little impulse off this, and potentially you got the 1, the flat 2, and right now you're in the midst of some kind of 3 big third wave, which potentially has the power to break the 1 fib, go up to the 1.272 at a minimal, big crash, and then you can continue towards the 1618 just up there at 5878, which would be amazing for this particular chart. Okay, and then again, all the maximum pessimism and bearishness expecting that we've gone against the herd. Okay, because just there, like I said, you've got the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5. Always look for the counter on a 5 wave down or 5 wave up. Okay, and equally if we get the 5 waves up here like this and does something like that, then I'll look for the 5 wave counter in an ABC correction basically for the S&P 500. So far so good. I wish everyone the utmost luck, okay, but this is one of the charts we keep an eye on, and we wanted to see looking healthy for Bitcoin to be healthy in the long term. So let's dive into the DXY right now and see what we can see. So looking at DXY on the daily time frame, at the moment we've come all the way back down to that red trend line, haven't we? That neckline of support. It's a selling triangle. At the time, like I said to you, a bit of confluence at this level that Bitcoin's not looking to break down resistance and is actually caught in a correction is this, what we're seeing in the DXY. Okay, and what we've got is a God candle, breakout, eventually come back to support. So right now what I'm looking for the DXY to get really bullish about Bitcoin, a potential parabolic move, is this run into resistance again at these daily EMAs and def cross and then roll. Okay, and I think if we start to see the DXY lose 100.776, I think we've got an amazing signal here for Bitcoin and a beautiful little entry point for you. Okay, so what we're looking at right now, you remember this breakdown here, we've got the break below the EMAs, confirmed resistance and dropped in this def cross. We're looking for the very similar scenario. So what we've got is a bull trap just there, possible bull trap just there, and right now we're looking for this to come back up into the EMAs like it did here and then drop. So I think that at the moment right now Bitcoin could still be in the bottoming out process of that correction that it's going through. Okay, so right now let's dive into the Bitcoin chart and see what we can see. Looking at Bitcoin on the daily time frame, I know at the minute everyone's expecting us to run hard towards this white line, okay, before we get rejected and create a new low, but I think that what we might do here is be going through some kind of ABC back down before we do something like that. So I'm going to show you what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. Okay, I think there's a lot of confluence stacking up that is your low right now. Obviously, this is why I'm buying Bitcoin at this level and this level, because like I said to you, I think this is a correction and I think it's an opportunity anyway, and right now what you've done is broken this key level of resistance just there for Bitcoin, this neckline, and all effectively you've done is come back to its support for the continuation. So for me, I think that Bitcoin's a buy, okay, until you start to break down below key support, which is the weekly 20 EMA and obviously the Gaussian channel on the 5-day time frame, which you're not. Okay, so I'm going to show you all that in a moment, but one thing I want to show you right now on the hourly time frame, what I'm looking at right now is a possibility that's an impulsive move just there for Bitcoin, and right now you have some kind of A, some kind of B, and some kind of C. Now where would the C go to? So what I'm looking at right now is this resistance retest of support for Bitcoin just there, because you've got the God candle. You see this level here, you're broken out just like you consolidated just there, and then you're broken out a God candle, and right now you put a possibly impulsive move, because what you've got is possibly some kind of 1, 2, big 3, 4, 5, and right now you're going for some kind of A, B, C correction coming back down before continuation. And if you do start to see that, this is where, like I said to you, the DXY begin to come back up and attack those EMAs, and people get really bearish on Bitcoin again. But all you're doing is creating the bottoming structure right now off this low, okay, because there's a lot of confidence stacking up right now that is your low. I'm going to show you why. Okay, so I'm looking for the reversal pattern down here, possibly some kind of 1, some kind of 2, then the third point of contact breaks this, the wave 3 breaks this resistance, and then you can see what you've got down here is a beautiful ascending triangle, okay, for Bitcoin like this. So you've got resistance, support, and then you break it on the third point of contact. Like I've said to you, wave 3 is the power to break resistance, to confirm impulsive moves to the upside. So I'm looking for this resistance retest eventually, because if you take a look just there, you've got the God candle. So I think we're coming in for that. You know, I think that Bitcoin's technically looking to get to 27560, which makes Bitcoin break that resistance and is a bullish signal. So that's something I'm looking at down the line. It doesn't make me a pound bull, pound bear, whatever. It's just trading ranges. So possibly some kind of impulsive wave 1, corrective wave 2, ABC correction, then 3 breaks all this resistance retest. Okay, beautiful move for Bitcoin. So what else is stacking up at this support level right now for Bitcoin? Let me show you. Okay, so one of the things we've got stacking up at this support level is the top of the Gaussian channel, and I've gone through this with you before. Once we broke this Gaussian channel from red to green, we do usually come back to the top end of the channel to backtest support before continuation. So that's exactly what we've done here. We're broken out, falling back to the neckline support, the top end of the Gaussian, and we're flipping green on the 5-day, and boom, we're looking to go. Okay, and obviously if we don't, we start to break down and we lose that, then that's quite a negative and bearish statement. But we have to respect the data and what the charts are telling us at the moment, and so far so good. We're breaking out, falling back to the neckline, and this is, you know, potentially a lovely little buy signal when people are still feeling really bearish. You know, we did it just there, break out, fall back, not necessarily to the top end of the Gaussian, but we stayed above it and it remained green after being red. You know, I don't think there's ever been an instance really where we've flipped from red to green where it's not been bullish. Okay, way back there, not quite just there, but from here, from red to green was a bullish statement, from red to green was a bullish statement. Right now, you know, just respecting the data, we've gone from red to green after being red for so long, flip green, back testing support, looking to go again. So we can't be too bearish just yet. So that's another confluencing factor that where we've come back to is technically support for Bitcoin. Okay, let's dive into the weekly time frame right now. So looking at the weekly RSI for Bitcoin, at the moment we've landed right in that green trend line, haven't we? We seem to be sort of turning the ship around here. So what I'm looking for is to come up, come back down, make a higher low from last week's low, you know, respectfully, and then go again. Just like we did here, we come up, come down, make a higher low, and then we go. And if we can break the 70 level again, I think that we could put in a massive move like that when people least expect it. And what we've got is a looking glass, because the DXY is in exactly the same position as it was back then, and Bitcoin is exactly the same position as it was back then as well. So a very rinse repeat scenario going on at the moment. I think, you know, there's no bias here. I think if Bitcoin starts to roll and loses the low from last week, obviously it's in a spot of bother, and you can clearly see it will be losing the 5-day Gaussian as well, and equally the weekly 20 EMA, which I'm going to show you in a moment, and it's losing structure, and we have to respect that. You know, it means that the tide is changing, but at the moment we are bouncing off a key area of support, so there's a lot of confluence at this level that this is a major buy zone for Bitcoin, although it doesn't feel like it. Okay, and we could be gearing up for a massive move. So if we do start to come up here, you know, come back down and start to break, and we take out the 70 level, then you're just retaining the beautiful uptrend structure and impulsive structure. It's exactly the same structure we got off that low way back there in 2020 as well, when people were really bearish. Let's take a look at the weekly 20 EMA right now for Bitcoin. So we're taking a look at the weekly 20 EMA, which is a yellow line. You can clearly see that Bitcoin has bounced off it like an absolute boss at the moment. Now this is two indicators. This is the whole suite indicator and the 21 EMA bull and bear zones, okay, by TR, which I've shown you before. I'll show you again. The whole suite by Silico is the bands, which is amazing. So that's remaining green at the moment, which is technically bullish, and equally the 21 EMA zones by TR, that is green as well, and we're remaining above a 21 week EMA. So you can clearly see at the moment we are currently holding support, so we can't flip bearish just yet until this all starts to turn the corner and flips red and we start to lose the 20 week EMA, because all we've done at the moment is broken out, fall back to support, looking to go again for Bitcoin. Okay, so squeaky bum time, I know, but obviously what we're looking at is a breakdown of the DXY for the continuation of the bullish moves to the upside for Bitcoin. Okay, hope you enjoyed that update. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Take care everyone. Back to an update on Bitcoin. Bye bye.